Amber said was that she had a she attended the talk by another teacher who was talking along the same lines as you were, and she also said that in her presence the Shakti was very strong.
Yeah.
And she also said there were other teachers like I don't know Francis Lucille and some others in whose presence also she felt Shakti strong. So that was one that. So I mean, there were I think there were realized beings. I don't know.
Well, yeah, Shakti, strong Shakti doesn't mean they're realized.
Okay.
That doesn't mean anything. They could be in the midst of the journey. And then again, you're in a lot of phenomena and all this mental drama about things. A big difference.
Okay.
So again, you can't use, that there's a lot of Shakti. I had a lot of Shakti that, in the middle of the journey, there was a lot of Shakti. It wasn't grounded, but there was a lot of Shakti.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So again, that doesn't mean that anything, like I said, they want an abstract. They want you to send an abstract. What are you going to talk on? What is it? They're looking for something specific, And I'm not into the intellectualism. I'm not into the debate. I'm not into any of it. For what? I'm not here to try to convince them of something.
Yeah,
What do I want to go there? I'm not here to promote myself. I'm not here to promote, anything. What is there to go there for? I don't get it.
I was just thinking, not many. First of all, not many people know there are really genuine gurus like you. In fact, I was talking to my friend yesterday. So I have started holding meditation groups here with my friends, and he was just saying, he was asking me a lot about you and how what your story was.
Mm-hmm.
So I was telling him about how your journey was, and he was saying how there needs to be more. He just said to me at least your guru's network should expand, or more and more people should come to know about you.
Oh.
Otherwise.
Well, going to these symposiums like this is not the way to do it. Because, like I said, they're all coming from 99.9% of them are coming from the place of ego.
Okay.
There's a me that's searching, and then if the me, it's going to find this and this, And it's like a thing that Dharma sent, this Ken Wilber thing. And I said, Ken Wilber is stuck. I read the first few lines of it, and you could see, it's all about, it doesn't mean when you get to realization, there's not relationships and all the drama and sex and money and, nonsense. Yeah, there's not. There is no driving. There's no me that's driving. And he equates it with, you get a different understanding. Well, he's talking about another intellectual thing. They keep coming back to this me that's expanded into this bigger understanding. And that's what they're after. There is no me. What can I go to a symposium like that and say? They'll look at me and say, you're crazy. We don't believe you.
So, but, do you think they should at least know that there is no me of the realization?
They know there's Ramana. Ramana's been there.
So...
all that happens if you go there, they'll want to have an argument with you. I've met these people before. All they want to do is have an intellectual argument. Well, prove it's not there. Prove it's this. Prove it's that. Well, there is no proof. There is no scientific proof. The closest they can get to it is, like I said, in the midst of the atoms and the quarks and everything, and the bottom thing is that nothingness. Well, they don't understand what that nothingness is. And neither can it be explained. It can only be experienced. And when it's experienced, that illusion of the me ends, and all the drama that's with it ends. It falls away and the mind stills. They don't want to hear that the mind stills.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess like you're right. Like, I mean, even if you go there, they would still be arguing, and I think that's what Amber said too. But like what she said was that there was a point in when she like basically how last year I was just curious about this science and non-duality conference, and I badly want to know how that would be and whether you would be a good speaker or something like that in the future.
Well, it's fine when they come non-duality conference, but when they bring the science into it, that the two are not, they're not related.
You really think so? Like,
well, yeah, science is all mental. Is science not the realm of and trying to take everything that's in the transient and box it in and trying to define it and calculate it?
Yeah, that's right.
So how does that come with non-duality when there's only one? There's nothing else to calculate.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess like they.
That's an oxymoron. It's not possible.
Yeah, I guess like. I guess what like from science, but at least some scientists were trying to like point to that. Like at least the traditional boxes which they were speaking about is has to be expanded or like things like that. But it wasn't like relevant. It wasn't pointing strongly in any direction. That's the best I can say. Like what you said exactly.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be expanded until it blows apart.
Okay.
Really, it expands and then it blows apart and deconstructs. Just like you have the start of worlds and they expand and then they blow apart and deconstruct. Okay? That's it. When it deconstructs, it doesn't mean there's nothing. It goes back to the primal is. Okay? It's that simple.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell them, that's all.
Like, but I mean, like what I was thinking was that, like, first of all, if you went there, I mean, people there would first of all experience the consciousness shift in your presence. That's for sure.
Well, maybe yes and maybe no. Not everyone that comes in the midst will experience a consciousness shift. It takes a while for them to get in and get some kind of what do you want to say, a link or something. That's not going to happen with everyone the first time they meet.
Okay.
They're not open to it.
Okay, yeah.
They're coming from an intellectual dynamic. That's what they're looking for.
Okay.
They're not coming from a heart-centered and wanting to expand. They're coming for more intellectual gravy they can chew on. I can't give them intellectual gravy to chew on.
Yeah, okay. and then the other thing was, I guess like I guess honestly like when I saw the other list of speakers, like I don't know, like when I read about Andrew Cohen being a speaker, but it didn't make any sense. Like any New Age teacher should be saying these kind of things. But I really wanted someone like with a solid experience to speak there at least. But honestly, like I'm not sure whether it. First of all, if you go there and if people are not open to what you are, and if they are in an argumentative state of mind.
Well, that's it. They don't know me from Adam. I'm not a well-published author. I'm not, once again, they'd be looking at like, well, who are you? We know Ken Wilber. We know all these people because they resonate with, the mental drama.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. What if Ramana would have gone to speak at one of those things? Do you think he would have left to go speak at one of those?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, you're right.
Would there be any desire to go there? Because it's all the nonsense of the mind.
Yeah. That's true.
And it's not going to get it. And neither do they want to hear that you have to go beyond the mind. I mean, they're just now getting to that where they can cognize that the decisions have already been made before the brain thinks it.
Yeah.
They're just now coming to that. But even with that, when I say there's no mind, there's no thought, they'll tell me I'm full of bullshit. Most of these teachers, they tell you. But look at the studies. They're coming to the point to say that the brain is already, and that what's prior to the brain? There's something that programs the brain. The persona is the last to know, so this happens way before persona knows it.
Yeah.
But are they going to want to hear that? Most of the teachers aren't going to want to hear that because it flies in the face of what's going on with them. And then it's very threatening to them.
Yeah, I guess so, because they have built careers like...
Exactly, because they're teaching, well, it doesn't matter if there's mind going on, you just don't pay attention to it. That's okay. You just focus on the silence and you compartmentalize it, and then it's okay. Okay.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, so, like, I mean, I'm just curious. So, like, how would you... So, what kind of place do you think you would be willing to speak, kind of? I mean, if they asked you to speak from your direct experience, like, would you actually speak?
I mean, yeah, I have been speaking from the direct experience for years. Honest with it, there's nothing that hasn't been spoken already. Sat down, all of a sudden, the great fear came, and then there was no me, no world, just that's it. End of story. Story was done. It all blew out, and it hasn't returned. What can be said? It's very short and sweet. That's the end of it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Then when, understands quantum, they understand all of those, the things as to how it works. Yeah, mind is, the duality and the persona, all is constructed by the mind and the thought. That holds all the drama and all of this stuff in place. It holds the dance in place. Holds the aspects of time in place. If you really want to know about time and all of that, it's that consciousness that's caught in the dualistic dance, holds that in place. Okay? That's all.
So, yeah. So, I guess...
Yeah, I mean, it would be very short. What do I have to say on it? There's not much. If you're in the transient world, then, these things happen. And with it is created time, because you got object. Subject, object, therefore is time.
So like, I mean, do you think, like, you can... I mean, I'm just curious. So, do you think, like, talking about Kundalini in some way or the other would help in this regard, or, like, I don't know?
It has nothing to do with them in their conference, what they're looking for.
Yeah.
They're looking for time. Time and timeless is what they say. So how am I going to bring that around to Kundalini?
Like, I mean, Kundalini is as a path.
If it was a conference on Kundalini, that's one thing. But this is not a conference on Kundalini. It's on time.
Okay.
It's on E equals MC squared. And beyond. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I guess then it doesn't make much sense.
No, it doesn't make much sense. You've got to pay to go. And I mean, this is for people that want to get known and they want to be in the intellectual rada circles, and I have no desire for that. For what? All of my speaking is that one has to go beyond the mind, prior to mind. So why do I want to speak about a conference? It's all linked to mind. Do you think they'll be ready to hear that? Do you think that the scientists want to hear that? No, they want to hear how the mind can be expanded.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess right now, I don't think like right now, at least like after, maybe science would mature after some time.